Known as the land of maple leaves, Canada is a country filled with contrasts. In Amish communities, women wear bonnets, never cut their hair, avoid buttons or jewelry, and live fully disconnected from modern life. Hospitality here takes on unique forms. Visiting an Inuit home, you might be invited to spend the evening engaging in traditions with the host's family, an unforgettable experience rooted in their culture. Ever heard of paying taxes with Seal-Paws? In remote Newfoundland and Labrador, this curious practice isn't just a myth, it's part of the local charm. Don't miss this video because every detail will amaze you. Let's begin. Welcome to the land of maple leaves, the second largest country on the planet. Spanning from the icy reaches of the Arctic Circle in the north to the vibrant, bustling cities along its southern edge, Canada's sheer size is astounding. To put it into perspective, if you decided to drive non-stop from Vancouver on the west coast to St. John's on the east coast, it would take nearly 7 days. Despite covering an astonishing 10 million square kilometers, enough space to fit multiple South American countries like Brazil and Mexico combined, Canada's population is surprisingly modest. With roughly 38 million residents, it has one of the lowest population densities in the world. But what Canada lacks in people, it more than makes up for in stunning landscapes. Picture this: the rugged peaks of the Rocky Mountains, endless crystal-clear lakes, and sprawling forests that stretch as far as the eye can see. Canada is also home to about 20% of the world's freshwater reserves and boasts more lakes than any other country on Earth. In the icy and remote northern regions of Canada, the Inuit people stand as one of the most resilient and captivating cultures in the world. Their deep connection to nature and spirituality has been shaped by centuries of surviving in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Inuit hospitality is a fascinating and unique tradition that takes on an entirely different meaning in the Arctic. When a guest is welcomed into an Inuit community, the experience goes far beyond simply offering a warm meal or a comfortable place to sleep. In some cases, a host might even offer a special night of companionship with his wife, a way to honor the guest. For visitors unfamiliar with this practice, it can be quite surprising, especially for couples. Refusing such a gesture may sometimes be seen as disrespectful, making it a delicate cultural exchange. However, in Inuit tradition, while the offer may come from the husband, the ultimate decision lies with the wife. This act is not a simple transaction, but rather a gesture of honor, intended to welcome the guest into the community with the highest regard. This unique hospitality ties deeply into their spiritual beliefs. The Inuit are known for their openness, which extends to certain rituals involving the exchange of partners. These exchanges are often performed with religious intentions and are done with the awareness and guidance of their spiritual leader, the Angakuk. The Angakuk holds an essential role as the intermediary between the physical world and the spirit world, ensuring harmony in both realms. Would you accept such an invitation and experience the warmth of Inuit hospitality? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's step into the fascinating world of the Amish, a community that seems frozen in time, living entirely apart from the rush of the modern world. The Amish are easy to recognize, especially the women, thanks to their distinctive clothing and devotion to a life governed by tradition and faith. Their clothing is much more than just attire. It reflects their deeply held values of modesty and humility. In this community, appearance is not about self-expression, but about blending into the group and showing dedication to their faith. Amish women wear long, plain dresses, usually in darker shades such as navy blue, black, or brown, with no patterns or decorative elements. Their arms are always covered as a symbol of modesty, and their hair, never cut, is carefully tucked away beneath a bonnet or cap. This head covering signifies their submission to religious authority and their role within the family, which is central to Amish life. Even the smallest details of their clothing reveal fascinating cultural insights. For instance, the Amish avoid buttons because they associate them with militarism and modernity. Instead, they use hooks and eyes to fasten their garments, emphasizing simplicity and adherence to tradition. Their way of life goes far beyond clothing. From an early age, Amish women are taught to follow a path of obedience, first to their fathers and later to their husbands. Their days are devoted to managing the household, raising children, and supporting the family. The Amish view these roles as part of their faith, seeing them as a divine plan they are called to fulfill. This separation from modern life is deliberate. By avoiding electricity, cars, and even telephones, the Amish seek to shield themselves from the temptations of the outside world, which they believe could lead them away from their faith. For Amish women, their simple clothing, free of jewelry or makeup, serves as both an act of modesty and a way to reject vanity. So, could you imagine living this way, without technology, surrounded by tradition, and guided by faith? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Canada, celebrated for its politeness, is also home to some truly fascinating and unusual laws that might make you pause and wonder. One of the most peculiar tax laws comes from Newfoundland and Labrador, a province famed for its rugged coastlines and deep Arctic traditions. In the past, paying taxes here didn't always involve money. Astonishingly, seal-paws were once accepted as a form of tax payment. This quirky practice was rooted in the region's reliance on seals for survival, as seal products were essential to the local economy. Although seal paws are no longer used to pay taxes, the seal harvest remains an important part of life for many coastal and indigenous communities in Newfoundland and Labrador. This unusual chapter in Canada's history continues to influence local traditions and culture. Canada's unique laws aren't limited to taxation. In the snowy far north, there are regulations that reflect the importance of dog sledding. Dog sledding has been a vital mode of transportation for centuries in areas like Yukon and Nunavut, where harsh Arctic landscapes demand resourcefulness. Sled dogs, especially Siberian Huskies, play a crucial role in this tradition. These dogs, which share physical traits with wolves, are known for their endurance and teamwork. Their loyalty and ability to traverse long distances over difficult terrain make them indispensable companions in these frozen regions. Laws in these areas ensure sled dogs are treated with the utmost respect. These regulations cover everything from the number of dogs required for a sled to their care and well-being, emphasizing their role as essential partners in navigating the Arctic. So, what does it cost to travel and live in this extraordinary country? Before we dive into that, let me take just 10 seconds of your time. If you're enjoying this video, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way you'll be the first to see our newest videos and exciting content. We promise to keep making this show even better for you. Do we have a deal? Traveling to Canada is quite straightforward, particularly if you're coming from the United States or Europe. Major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Calgary are well connected, with numerous direct flights available at competitive prices. Both major and budget airlines offer plenty of options for travelers. For coffee enthusiasts, you'll feel right at home. A cup of coffee in Canada typically costs between $2 and $3, similar to prices in cities like New York or Los Angeles. When it comes to dining out, Canada provides a wide variety of options to suit any budget. A mid-range meal usually costs around $15 to $30 per person, with an abundance of international cuisine available in cities like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. If you're looking to save money, street food and fast casual dining are great choices. With meals available for under $10, accommodation prices vary depending on where you stay. In bustling cities like Toronto and Vancouver, mid-range hotels range from $100 to $150 per night. Smaller towns and remote areas often have more affordable options, especially if you don't mind basic amenities. For a budget-friendly and adventurous alternative, camping in one of Canada's national parks offers a fantastic way to immerse yourself in the country's breathtaking natural beauty. Speaking of nature, it's Canada's biggest attraction, and much of it is free. Whether you're hiking in the Rockies, kayaking on pristine lakes, or exploring the vast prairies, you'll find endless opportunities to enjoy the outdoors without spending a fortune. Most national parks have low entrance fees, making it easy to experience these stunning landscapes on a budget. In major cities, public transportation is both reliable and affordable. Cities like Toronto and Montreal offer daily or weekly passes for buses, subways, and streetcars. For longer trips across the country, Via Rail, Canada's national train service, is an excellent option. While it may not be the fastest way to travel, the scenic routes provide an unforgettable experience. Canada also boasts plenty of free or low-cost cultural attractions, from museums to public events. During the summer months, cities like Montreal host numerous free festivals and street performances, giving you the chance to immerse yourself in local culture without spending much. Picture the far northern regions of Canada, where snow never melts and icy winds sweep across vast tundras. The indigenous peoples who have called this frozen land home for centuries come to mind. Historically referred to as Eskimos, a term derived from an Algonquin word meaning meat eater, this label is now considered outdated. Today, these indigenous peoples, especially in Canada and Greenland, are known by their proper name, Inuit, which means the people or real people in their language, Inuktitut. This name reflects their strong identity and close ties to the land, sea, and ice. The Inuit are a fascinating group, thriving in the Arctic for thousands of years. Their survival depends on a deep understanding of their surroundings, where hunting seals, whales, and caribou is essential. From building igloos to mastering ice fishing, the Inuit have developed skills that are deeply connected to nature. Inuit women hold essential roles in family and community life. They prepare animal skins for clothing, cook, and raise children. Beyond these duties, they support hunting by crafting tools and sharing knowledge of the land and animals. Their traditional clothing, like the amauti, a parka with a baby pouch, reflects practicality and ingenuity, highlighting their bond with nature. While the Inuit preserve much of their way of life, they face challenges from modernity and climate change, which disrupt their traditions and gathering practices. Imagine living in a place where temperatures drop far below freezing and snow blankets the land for most of the year. For the Inuit, this is simply home. Over countless generations, they have formed a deep connection with the land, believing that all living things are interconnected. Hunting and fishing are at the heart of Inuit life, but it's more than survival. It's a way of honoring their culture, passed down through generations. Picture a family venturing onto the ice to hunt caribou, seals, or even polar bears. It's a dangerous but vital part of life in the Arctic, providing food, skins, and tools necessary for survival. Every part of the animal is used, leaving nothing to waste. This resourcefulness reflects the deep respect the Inuit hold for animals, recognizing their importance in the balance of life. Now, let's talk about sled dogs, a symbol of resilience in Canada's heritage. During the gold rush in the late 1800s, sled dogs weren't just companions, they were essential lifelines. They carried supplies across remote and dangerous terrains, helping settlers survive. These dogs are bred for endurance, able to pull heavy loads over long distances in freezing conditions. Today, they remain a symbol of determination, much like the Inuit people themselves. Climate change, however, threatens the Inuit way of life. Melting ice and warmer winters disrupt traditional hunting grounds, making survival even more challenging. Yet the Inuit continue to adapt, preserving their traditions while embracing modern advancements. Their ability to endure and thrive in one of the world's harshest environments is a testament to their ingenuity and strength. Let's dive into the world of the Amish, one of the fastest-growing communities in Canada today. Known for their unique beliefs and customs, their roots can be traced back to Europe in the 15th century, where they formed as a religious group seeking a simpler, faith-driven lifestyle. Distancing themselves from mainstream religious practices, they follow a strict set of guidelines, called the Ordnung. These rules, based on the Bible's New Testament, guide their lives and encourage them to separate from secular influences. A defining characteristic of the Amish is their commitment to nonviolence. Instead of relying on outside legal systems, they resolve disputes within their own tribunals, a unique practice that sets them apart from the modern world. The Amish began settling in North America, including Canada, where they found a place to uphold their values. Today, Canada, particularly Ontario, has a growing Amish population, distinct for their rejection of modern technology. In Ontario, the Amish population has expanded significantly in recent years. With nearly 40,000 members across Canada, their numbers are increasing rapidly thanks to their high birth rates, averaging 7 children per family. In contrast, the average Canadian family has fewer than 2 children. This growth makes the Amish one of Canada's fastest-growing communities. Their lifestyle forbids electricity, social media, and the internet, keeping them separate from the modern economy. The Amish are renowned for their traditional farming methods and self-sufficiency. Despite their restrictive lifestyle, Amish youth experience a unique period known as Rumspringa, typically between the ages of 16 and 20. During this time, they are free to explore the modern world, including technology, socializing with non-Amish peers, and other worldly experiences. Surprisingly, over 90% of Amish youth ultimately return to their community, fully committing to their faith and way of life. However, leaving the Amish community has significant consequences. Those who leave often sever ties with their family and friends. Returning to the community, if desired, is at the discretion of the elders. Breaking their moral code, particularly concerning purity before marriage, can lead to permanent expulsion, making their rules on modesty and behavior particularly strict. A unique Amish courtship tradition is bundling. This involves young couples spending the night together while fully clothed, often separated by a barrier such as a blanket or pillow. This practice allows them to form emotional connections without violating the rules of modesty. Even facial hair holds symbolic meaning among Amish men. A clean-shaven face signifies that a man is single, while a beard is grown only after baptism and marriage. For Amish men, growing a beard marks a significant spiritual milestone and symbolizes maturity and commitment. Imagine a place where polar bears roam freely, and you can witness these majestic creatures up close like nowhere else on Earth. Welcome to Churchill, Manitoba, the polar bear capital of the world. This small Canadian town attracts visitors from around the globe every fall when polar bears come ashore from Hudson Bay. Canada is home to over 15,000 of the world's 25,000 polar bears, making it the ultimate destination to see these magnificent animals in their natural habitat. And it's not just polar bears. Canada also boasts thriving populations of black bears, grizzlies, and other incredible wildlife, offering adventurers an unforgettable glimpse into the wild. But the wonders of Canada don't stop there. Over at the Bay of Fundy, you'll find something truly astonishing: the highest tides on the planet. These colossal tides rise and fall by over 50 feet, leaving visitors in awe of nature's raw power. To give you an idea, that's as tall as a 5-story building. Here's a fact that might surprise you. Canada has more lakes than the rest of the world combined. With approximately 3 million lakes across its vast land, Canada holds 20% of the world's fresh water. One of its most remarkable lakes, Great Bear Lake, is not only among the largest but also one of the deepest in the world, a true marvel of natural beauty and abundance. And Canada's sheer size doesn't stop there. It boasts the longest coastline in the world, stretching over 200,000 kilometers. To put that into perspective, walking its entire length would take you 4 years without stopping. Speaking of landscapes, Canada is also home to the smallest desert on the planet. The Carcross Desert, located in the Yukon, spans just 1 square mile, but adds yet another unique feature to Canada's diverse geography. What makes Canada even more remarkable is that 90% of its land remains uninhabited. This untouched wilderness and pristine beauty make Canada a dream destination for nature enthusiasts and thrill seekers alike. Beneath Canada's icy surface lies something even more extreme: permafrost, a layer of ground that stays frozen solid even during the warm summer months. Imagine standing on solid ground, only to discover that just a few feet below, the earth is permanently frozen. That's permafrost. It's like nature hit the pause button on the soil. In most parts of the world, the ground changes with the seasons, freezing in winter and thawing in summer. But in the remote northern regions of Canada, the ground stays frozen year-round, often several meters deep. This frozen layer affects everything from how buildings are constructed to the way people travel, and it even impacts deeply personal traditions like burial practices. In regions where permafrost dominates, digging graves during the winter months is nearly impossible. The ground becomes as hard as concrete, making it too tough to break through. To adapt, Arctic and subarctic communities have developed unusual customs. In these areas, when someone passes away during winter, burial must wait until the summer thaw. This means families often store their loved ones in garages or basements for months until the ground softens enough for a proper burial. Building homes and roads on top of this frozen ground also requires ingenuity. Special techniques are used to prevent structures from shifting or sinking as the permafrost beneath them freezes and thaws. But this challenging environment is part of what makes these regions so extraordinary. The way people have adapted to life in the Arctic is a powerful testament to human creativity and resilience. Canada is a country that stands out for its stunning wilderness, unmatched by any other place in the world. One of the reasons for this is that Canada ranks as the 3rd cleanest country in terms of air quality, just behind Estonia and Mauritius. A big factor behind this fresh air is that approximately 31% of Canada's vast land is covered by forests, representing over 10% of the world's total forest area. Can you imagine that? It's a massive expanse, almost as impressive as Canada's international border with the United States. At 8,891 kilometers, it is the longest border in the world. But Canada's records don't stop there. If you're ever in Toronto, you have to visit Yonge Street, which holds the title of the longest street on the planet. It stretches an astounding 56 kilometers, longer than some of the most famous runways in the world, including one built for UFOs. That's right, in the small town of St. Paul, Alberta, a runway was built in 1967 specifically for unidentified flying objects. It was the first of its kind, and the town even features a UFO museum. While there's no confirmation that extraterrestrials have ever landed there, it remains a fascinating and quirky spot to explore. Speaking of flight, traveling to Canada is simpler than you might expect. Canada ranks third in the world for the number of airports, with over 1,467 airports spread across the country. It's only surpassed by the United States and Brazil. If you're planning a visit, all you need to do is book a flight, ensure your passport is valid, and check whether you need a tourist visa or an electronic travel authorization based on your country of origin. When it comes to cold, Canada is home to some of the chilliest places on Earth. Winters in the northern regions can be brutally long and freezing. We're talking about temperatures that often drop below 30 degrees Celsius. That's lower than 22 degrees Fahrenheit. In fact, some areas in Canada are so cold that the ice never melts. Here's an incredible fact: in certain northern communities, when someone passes away in the dead of winter, digging a grave is impossible because the ground is completely frozen solid. During the winter, much of northern Canada transforms into a frozen wonderland. Temperatures can dip to more than 40 degrees Celsius below zero. That's colder than 40 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. Can you imagine living in such extreme conditions? But don't worry, it's not all ice and snow. If you're considering a visit, summer in southern provinces like Ontario and British Columbia offers a pleasant escape. Summer temperatures in these areas often rise above 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit, providing a warm contrast to the icy north. Canada's natural beauty is breathtaking year-round. The country is home to more than 37 national parks and countless nature reserves, protecting over 300,000 square kilometers of its landscape. To put that into perspective, this is an area larger than the entire state of New Mexico. These parks not only preserve Canada's unique ecosystems, but also serve as sanctuaries for wildlife such as grizzly bears, wolves, and caribou, as well as over 600 bird species. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, Canada's parks are a must-see. Whether you're hiking in the rugged peaks of Banff National Park or marveling at the northern lights in the Yukon, Canada's wilderness offers unforgettable experiences in every season. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.